Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And today's special
Right,
guest, got former third team and honor roll all ACC.
right. Come on,
He's
man.
won the Music City Capital Bowl.
Yes, sir.
He's from Alabama,
Alabama.
played with the Baltimore Ravens, won the Super Bowl his rookie year, played for the
It
Arizona
works.
Cardinals and also the Buffalo Bills. Offensive guard Antoine McClain. What's good, big
What's
dog?
up? What's up, man?
Man, what a great intro. I love the intro, man. That was great. Thank you guys for that. How you guys doing?
Hey, we doing
We're
good, man.
doing
So
good,
glad to
man.
have you on.
Yes, sir. For the people that don't know you, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, I am from a small city from Alabama called Anderson, Alabama, the model city.
Okay.
Uh, I had a chance to go to any school I wanted to go to. I had a chance to play in U.S. Army game. I played in the very first Under Armour All-American game. Had a chance to go to Clemson for 4 years, where I got my degree in socializing criminology. Had a chance to play 5 years in the National Football League. I had a chance to win the Super Bowl my rookie year. After I left the game of football, I had a chance to work in player engagement at the NFL league office. Had a chance to do a little work as far as student athlete development at University of Tennessee and UNC Charlotte, and now I am the director of former player engagement at the Clemson University. Everybody,
Man, that's what's up, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to say congratulations on that for real.
appreciate that, man.
Yeah, but what age you started playing football? And was football your first love, or was it another sport?
Yeah, I started playing football about around 7 or 8. I believe I played my first year of flag football. Then I advanced to tackle football. But yeah, football has always been my first love because I've always been a big kid, and I knew as a young age. I know everybody say that, but I knew like my first game that I believe I watched was against the Saints and the Colts. This was when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I knew
Wow.
that right. I mean at the time I wasn't very hip to the game of football, but I
Yeah,
knew watching that game, I knew that I was going to actually do that. And then once I got
yeah,
older, I started to realize the height and the bigness of football. So I definitely couldn't be working a regular job, as my guy Jamarcus Grant told me. He was like, "Yeah, I could never see you working." I
yeah.
worked. I mean, I had jobs I worked, but disasters and all that. But to answer your question, yes, football has always been my first love as far as sports.
Cool. All
That's
right.
what's up,
For
man.
everybody watching, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We have Antoine McClain, Super Bowl champion from Baltimore Ravens on. So, Antoine, you started playing football, say 7, 8 years old.
Mhm.
Who was the actual guy that inspired you to play ball? Was it a family member, a cousin? Was it a football player you watched on TV?
Um, I say
Yeah.
it's a mixture of both because I look at growing up. I grew up in the '90s, so I grew up in the Dallas Cowboy area. Am I a Dallas Cowboy fan? I wouldn't say anymore, but I just grew up watching Neon Dion and the three-headed monster with Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin. So I grew
Oh,
up in that
yeah,
area, and I grew up watching those games with my uncle on Sundays, and then my brother, who's like my hero, man, my big brother. He was more or less my the role model when it came to sports because he grew up in Lake City, South Carolina. So every summer he would
Okay.
come down and stay with us. He was born in our hometown, but his mom is from Lake City. So my brother will
Okay.
always come home with all these medals and pictures of him and sports and whatnot. And he always loved the game of football. But my mom played sports her last year of high school, but she's always played sports in our neighborhood. And my dad didn't play sports, so but as far as like my neighborhood, I grew up in the projects growing up for my first 12 years of my life. And sports was
Okay.
we played kickball, we played baseball, basketball, all that. So I had sports in my life before I started playing organized sports. So I would say it was a difference of the neighborhood I grew up in, my sides, my brother, my uncle,
yeah.
people looking at me saying that how old are you? ain't know when the hell you 5 years old, or you know, so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
those all those things can contribute to me playing sports, and nobody has never asked me that question, so that's my first time really thinking about that.
Cool,
Wow,
man.
man. So,
Yep.
yes. So when you got to the high school level, at the off, you play offensive line, right?
Well, I play well, mainly against offensive line, but I had to play everything.
Oh,
um,
everything. Dang.
I was one of those guys that never left the field, man. Even though I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like that. I rather play focus on one, but I understood that being a big guy and being somebody that everybody counted on, I had to play, you know, all the downs, all that. So I had to stay on the field. So yeah.
Oh, so did you
Okay.
play defense too, though?
Yeah, I play offensive line, I played defensive line, I played tight end, I played a little bit of fullback in some packages, but D line. If I had to choose, everybody always thought I was a D because I was always shaped like a D lineman. But I had to
Yeah.
play wherever they needed me for that week. But mostly I play offensive line. I was recruited as an offensive lineman.
So you look like a tight end, man. For
Yeah,
real.
now
You
I
know,
do. But I've always been told I carry my weight well. But that's a
Yeah.
testament to my dad and him stringing me along every day, every weekend with him working on
yeah.
houses. So I never had the
Footwork.
chance. Right. I never had the chance to be, you know, the big belly offensive lineman, nor did I want to. But I just think no, I was very well needed on the offensive line. But yeah, I had to play everything, but I was recruited as an offensive lineman.
Dang, that's
All
what's
right.
up, man.
Cool, man. So growing up in Alabama, man, talk about some of the circumstances you probably faced growing up in Alabama to get to where you're at right now, man. You say you came up from the projects in Alabama. Talk about that a little bit and your mindset at 12 years old, knowing what you wanted to do and how you
Well,
went to accomplish it.
well, I would say I was we was the family that. No, granted, my dad didn't live with us, but I saw my dad mostly every day because my dad lived in the city I was in.
Okay.
But as far as the mindset, man, I kind of always just growing up, I always grew up with my mom always had her hand on us. My parents were very well in our lives, so even though we lived in the PJs for that time period, we was always the kids that when at a certain time, all right, y'all, come on in the house, or we couldn't go to a certain part of the project because my mom knew what was going on around that. Then too, man, I've always wanted to separate myself from everybody, so even with learning myself as a human being, I've always kind of knew that I was not saying different, but I kind of knew that it was always a greater calling on my life. Even if I didn't know how to verbalize that, I just knew that it was something deeper for me to be doing or aspiring to do. And then too, me adding I was a big kid, everybody always said I was gonna play football, but I feel like I know like parents want to take, oh, I push my kid to do X, Y, and Z, but I've always knew that I was
Yeah.
gonna do something great, whether my mom or dad pushed me or not, whether even when they felt like, you know, how we get a certain age, we start smelling ourselves. Even then I knew even I want to hang out, but I still like, all right, I hang out, but I was like, all right, that gut feeling be like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. So I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. But I always, trusted my inner gut when it comes to stuff like that. But my mindset, man, I always knew that I was ordained to do something. Even when my mom said when she was pregnant with me, my grandmother used to say, I don't know what that baby gonna be. He gonna be a preacher, a ball player, or something. He won't sit still. So as even
Yeah.
when I was born, I almost didn't make it, but I'm still here. So even
Yeah.
with hearing all those stories, man, I've always knew that I was ordained, whether I strayed or not. I've always knew that I was gonna do something great or do something better with my life than my surroundings. So I've always had that. It's weird. I've always knew, even when I didn't know, I had that feeling that God had His hand on me.
That's right, man.
Cool.
Hey, so did y'all make it to the playoffs or y'all win any state titles, anything like that?
No, at one point, man, we was leading it. We led the state in rushing, and our record was 1-9. We just didn't have, for one, we had a revolving door with coaches because I was the quote unquote bad school.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but we had all the talent. We just wasn't disciplined, man. And I was one of those guys where I wasn't about to scream and yell. I put my work in. I knew that I was separating myself. So I never believed in screaming and yelling because to me, I think that's selfish, by the way, that, oh, you want to scream because coaches think you're a leader, but I've always been a do by example because I spoke when I needed to speak up, but I didn't feel the need to scream because I've always felt that I was going to be condemned, even if, oh, well, if you do it, they're going to do it. But I'm like, I'm not going to be perfect. So why am I going to scream when you still going to condemn me? So I never really. So with that being said, we never had the discipline. We never had the mind or will to we'll lay down when a team come in and kick our butt. But we had all the talent, man. Or we have a new coach, and then we still learn his system. He's still trying to implement. So it was a lot of stuff, man, that we. But no, we didn't. But I'm gonna say I was good enough, but I've always worked hard. I understood, and I always tried my best to dominate on game day, and I always was hard on myself. I didn't need. I mean, coaches was hard on us too, but that was, and my dad was always hard on me about stuff. So I was always hard on myself. I knew I wanted to be. I know I wanted to make it out of my situation as far as going to college and getting a degree and changing my trajectory of my family and my life. So to answer your question, no, man, we got close, but we never made it. But we dominated when we had to, but we just never made it to the mountaintop. But then when we left, those guys saw that my senior class of how talented we was, and they knew that we had the right tools to make it. And those guys made a decision, but it was too much entitlement and too much stuff was getting let go. Like guys wouldn't come to work out, and coaches still let them play because we needed the numbers, or he was a big guy. But that's what I was saying. Like, why you want me to scream when you gonna let him do what he want to do anyway? So I'm not been a
Yeah.
So.
So So with all the height that you have, did you play any basketball in high school?
Man, I played basketball.
Yeah.
So I played basketball all the way up until ninth grade, and I knew that because my high school was known for football and basketball, but our basketball team got busy, and I knew that I didn't per se respect it because I didn't really care. I wanted to work and make money in the off season. I wanted to lift weight. So basketball, oh, you need your feet. I'm like, my feet are fine. I want to get stronger. I don't care about being in shape because they're gonna do that anyway in the off season. We're gonna run anyway. So I wanted to get bigger. So I ended up making the team my freshman year, but off the strength of I was big. I didn't even try out. So guys was like, man, you took my boy's spot. I'm like, bro, I didn't even. They just put my name on the thing. So I ended up not playing. I ended up not playing. I didn't like it. I mean, basketball is cool, but I got tired of fouling out. So I ended up just getting a job and working. And but also I love spring training. So, but I played basketball like in the neighborhood at school, and I played in middle school, and I played rec league. I played every year, but at like ninth grade, I'm like, I know where my bread and butter is, and I'm not gonna risk your homeboy not making the team, and then because I don't really care, because I didn't. It didn't matter to me, man. I was gonna be playing just to be playing, and I didn't care about starting or not, and I didn't want to waste a position when somebody who really wanted to play can play. So after ninth grade, after middle school, I was done with basketball. Whatever. But I played but I always played sports growing up. I played baseball, I played all the rec league sports. I did all that. But I knew like in ninth grade, okay, I'm 15 years old, I'm a freshman. 14, I'm sorry, I'm a freshman, I'm 260, 270. I know where where my light is. And I always had good feet. I always had good work ethic, so I knew I was gonna figure it out. So whatever.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and like. We have Antoine McClain, Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens. So you in high school, you gave up basketball. You strictly sticking with football. You're the first lineman I actually heard say they enjoy spring training and working out. I never heard a lineman say that. For real.
Because my coaches that trained us, they cared. He cared about us, and I wanted to get stronger. I want to get stronger in basketball, and I didn't care about it because for one, I didn't care. Basketball wasn't my like. It was cool, but you can ask me now who the top 5 players in NBA. I'm gonna probably name people from the '90s. Just to be funny.
Just be funny.
I know who they are, but like, come on, I'm gonna name I like, So
I feel you.
And it was fun.
Cool.
It was fun for us to leave school, go to the gym 7th period and I love the feeling I had from working out versus running.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Like when you start working out as like 15, 16 years old and you find your groove, find your strength, it becomes addictive, it becomes a lifestyle, something you look forward to every day, something your body look forward to as
Right,
well.
and it wasn't easy. It like our coaches
And
ran
nah,
us. Like my coach ran us like in the off season. We did circuit drills. Granted, it sucked, but I knew that this is gonna make me where I need me, make me the person I need to be as far as to compete on this level and the next level.
there you go. There you go. So you go into your senior year, you highly recruited. You have everybody in the country looking at you. Um, you say no playoffs, no championships. So at that time, what was your mind state? Did you know exactly where you were going, and what visits did you take?
I didn't. I ended up going. I went to a lot of camps throughout high school, so I kind of much visited most of the SEC schools and all the South schools. But I remember my junior year, this dude calls my phone. Like coaches call my phone all the time during the recruiting period. They can call, and some dude called my phone from this school, Clemson. I'm like, I'm not going to New York for no football. So I'm thinking, whatever. So this dude ended up showing up to my school. It was, I think, it was Arkansas. It was another school, Florida State. That was there, and this guy with this orange collar shirt comes to my school and, yeah, man, I've been calling you. You ain't been answering my call. I'm like, man, who are you, bro? Like, so I go in there and I go in there and talk to Arkansas for like an hour, and then Coach Strickett from Florida State was there. He hold me for like an hour, and I go home. This dude from Clemson is sitting in my living room talking to my mom. I'm like, and that guy was Coach Sweeney.
Oh,
So this is
Oh,
this is my junior year. So I actually like listened to what he had to say. I always gave my respect to coaches when they come. I always listen because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So I listened to what he had to say. We talked and whatnot. Told him I'm gonna come on and visit. But this dude would not give up. This guy would not give up. He kept calling. He kept like, when you gonna give us a visit? When you gonna go? I'm like, all right, cool. So
yeah, being
I had,
consistent.
but all my visits I had, LSU was like my top school. Bama and
Okay.
Auburn kind of fell out because of they felt like I supposed to commit because I'm from Bama or whatever, and some more stuff. And Florida State kind of fell off because I didn't like Coach Strickett. I didn't like him. He was a little too much for me on the initial visit. Granted, I know you want to be real, but anyways, but I took my visits to I went to Tennessee. They recruited me since I was ninth grade. I took my visit to Auburn. Wait, I took a visit to Auburn. I took one to Clemson. So out of those three, I didn't take a visit to LSU because I had to take my ACT again. My mom wasn't. She had paid for my prep, so she wasn't gonna let me miss that. And she took a visit to Clemson herself. So lo and behold, to say I had all these schools I wanted to go to and saw, but like once you start visiting them and once you start talking with coaches and you get that, I'm a big on my gut instinct feeling, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go to the schools I was wanted to go to. But I'm glad I made a decision to go to Clemson. But I visited them near every school, man, like throughout the process. So
Yeah.
so yeah, man, it was fun though. But I ended up taking my visit to Clemson. But I mean, it was becoming a hot commodity because a lot of guys was going there, and I remember Coach Sweeney kept talking about this running back that I'll be a great pair
Yeah.
with.
CJ
This
Spiller.
running back. No, it was Jamie Harper. He kept talking
Oh,
about
when that. Oh,
this guy, this guy,
oh, okay.
this guy in Jacksonville, man. If both of y'all come, it'll be phenomenal. Like so, and I remember when ESPN put out the video of all the top 150 guys in the country and the guys who were committed to playing that. It was an ESPN game before
hmm
the number game,
I
and
remember that.
I saw this kid Jamie Harper. I'm like, that's a big running back. I'm thinking like that dude is
Yeah,
fast.
he was.
He play linebacker, so I'm like, that dude in Duval County nice. And then the 2 days go by, I'm writing on my book in class. I'm like, oh, that's what we talking about. Just out of nowhere. So we ended up
Yeah.
going to a number game. Ended up going to an unnumbered game, and a lot of guys were committed to Clemson that was on my team. So just hanging with those guys, and then I finally saw my dude. I said, and it's crazy because you know that Spider Man meme when they point at each other like, "You Spider Man." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the room, my flight got there late. They already started their meetings, so I walk in and I sit behind this dude that had like this Trinity Christian book bag on, and I said, "Oh, that's Jay Hart right there." So I remember They like dismissed us to go play in the game room. I walked up to him and I was like, "Hey, I'm Antoine McClain. Hey, I'm Jamie Harper." Then it was at the same exact time we both said, "You the ones what are you talking about?" At the same time. So I was like, "Wow." So
Wow.
hanging with those guys that week, man, and then I was I'm gonna take that visit. So I took the visit, man, and my host was Jamarcus Grant, still my big brother to this day. We had heat, man. It's just that it's a different feeling, man. It's a great feeling. It was a great atmosphere. So I kind of knew, but I still was on the fence about schools. But I think that visit kind of helped solidify it. And then the night before signing day, I called my man Hart. I said, "All right, bro, where you going?" And he said, "Where you going?" I said, "Well, it ain't but one school that both of us agree on." And then he said, "Well, I see you there." So I hung the phone up, and then the rest is history.
That's what's up, man. That's dope right there. That's a good story.
So
Yep. So
good
you get
story.
to Clemson in your position as offensive guard. Who's the
Mhm.
first player that embraced you that's an upperclassman?
My boy Jamarcus Grant, all the
Marcus
guys.
Grant.
I actually went out there. I actually went out there during that summertime because they was having camp. I just went out there just to see it, and I know some of my coaches was actually working the camp, and then I just went there to just to see the camps and hang out with the guys. And my boy, me and him kind of built the bond throughout the whole process. And then when I came that summer, I stayed with him during the daytime and like got to go to class with him and everything and just saw it. So, and I met a lot of the guys through doing that. And then when I got to campus, I was kind of already like grandfathered in because I spent a good amount of time there that summer with just going to camp and just connecting with the guys that way. So, but all the guys that you saw like Mike Ham, all the OGs at that time, CJ, James Davis, because I was a young buck that was supposed to play early. So those guys really like showed me the ropes and but like all the upperclassmen all showed all us love, man. So I feel like all of them did. It wasn't no hazing, wasn't no egos. It was all like love, and we had to figure it out. So they helped us figure stuff out. But I would say all the guys, and then too, our class was so like highly recruited. We kind of like kept each other straight and kept each other like that home feeling. Pretty sure that what every guy go through as
Yeah.
far as when they get to campus, like that class, whether it's football, baseball, or basketball, all those freshmen gonna hang together anyway. So, we the only ones there at the
True.
same time anyway. So,
Yeah, cool. So you get on the field, you started playing. What was your first start as a
well, my,
Crimson
my
Tiger?
freshman year, I played, but I didn't play. I didn't start, but I played a good bit my freshman year. So the first game I started was my sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Yep.
Trying to think what game that was we played. Was it Citadel or was it Troy? I can't remember. It was one of those smaller schools, but I was starting the day our last game my freshman year, leaving the Gator Bowl, I was penciled in as a starter, and then Sweeney was like, "It's gonna be your job to lose." So when he told me that, man, but I started the first game of my sophomore year, and I never looked back.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Good. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of good defensive linemen, man, in the ACC. Who was the hardest D lineman you had to face?
At practice or just overall,
Yeah, overall, like in game wise,
man.
or practice. It could be practice. That's cool.
Practice as a freshman, man, it was Darrell Scott. Jesus Christ, he went fourth round to the Rams that year too. Uh, I feel like everybody, because everybody was so advanced and we were, so I felt like practice was hard my freshman year every day. Um, then I had a very tough coach, great coach, but tough coach. So I felt like every day was a challenge for me. But I'm glad I went through that. But as far as in game, well, we played against some dudes. Now we had Everett Everett Dockett. We had that sending guy that played at Virginia went second round. We played Chris Long, first round to play, 12 years in the league,
Yep.
two, 3 rings. Can't forget about our guys, Daquan, Ricky Saps, Kevin Alexander. Uh,
Whew.
we had all those guys, and then we had I ain't gonna lie though, that kid Timmy Jernigan as a freshman gave me trouble. At Florida State, they had some decent guys, man. But anytime I went in the game, I knew what I had to do, but I didn't know for sure. This is my freshman year. I just went in there and just went and found somebody. So, but other than that, man, I felt like we played against some dudes, man, from ACC around that time. So it's a good list of them, but it wasn't. I don't feel like nothing was more hard than that practice because I felt like we had the best guys in the ACC on our team. So practice, man, was hard.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right. So your rival, of course, during that time probably was Florida State.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about playing against them and their offense back in the mid 2000s. I say 2010s.
Well, a lot of those guys coached at Florida State because Coach Bowden came from. So, what's our record against Florida State? I think I'm 3-1 with Florida State, I'm 3-1. But the most fun I've ever had in a game was my 2009 year when we beat them like 41 to like 13, and they had all these crazy blitzes, man. But we had a simple plan for them, and we beat them prime time, 8 o'clock. We beat them 41-14, something like that. But that was probably the most fun I've ever had in my life in a game. Because it was Florida State. It's loud. Our fans have been
proud, baby.
Yes, our fans have been obnoxious. But the thing about Florida State that I hate about that week, coaches will play that damn fight song all week, the whole practice, and then sometimes you will hear it going to class because they let it run all day. So by the time we ready to play these guys at home, we ready to put them to sleep because we've been hearing all week, and they blast it loud. It's a home game. It's a home game. They blasting that. But 2009 Florida State, man, was probably one of my greatest game against them. But that's always a great rival, man. The Bowden Bowl, and watching film, and then too, growing up, but Miami and Florida State, like that rivalry, man, and watching it on TV.
Yeah, they be about to fight before the game.
Yeah, so that was fun to be a part of something like that. So that's probably one. I know USC is our rival, but Florida State, man, you get an extra brownie point for beating Florida State in my book, man, because those dudes too, man.
I agree with that.
Yep. So talk about the bowl games. You played in the Music City Bowl, won that. How many bowl games did you participate in at Clemson?
4. My freshman year, we went to the Gator Bowl. We played against Odumacin Sioux. I had a knockdown against the Odumacin Sioux, but that was probably my only play after that because he get a sack the next. Well, he didn't get a sack. He kind of made a play, and coach took me out. That was my freshman year. So that was Gator Bowl, great experience. A lot of the guys from the team from Jacksonville, so got to kick it with their families. And then my sophomore year, we won the Music City Bowl. We lost the ACC that year, but that was a great game for us. We went to the music, and Nashville is only 3 hours away from my house, so a good bit of my friends and family got to come and see that. We won that game, sent CJ them out with a W. My junior year, we played in the Monarchy Car Care Bowl in Charlotte. Wasn't a great year. I mean, we was 500, got a chance to go, and we lost that bowl game, but I had fun. We had fun in that. We had fun all week, but we ended up losing that game. That's when the regime started to change, when Coach Sweeney brought in 2 new coordinators, and my senior year we start that train, that road we started that's going on now. But we went to the Orange Bowl. We lost that game by 1,000, but all those bowl games were a good experience because you get a chance to hang with your guys, and even though we practicing, but we made it fun. My best bowl game memory was at the Music City Bowl, Nashville. It was on the day after Christmas. So, so that day, them coaches gave us. We had like we had a breakfast that morning, and we had like a little snack before our practice. And then this was super cold in Nashville, like freezing, and guys thought it was a great idea to not wear no shirt under our spiders, under our like paddeds. So that was fun. And then so dinner was on our own that night. Keep in mind, it's Christmas Day and it's Nashville. So everything closed. So we was like, what we gonna eat? The restaurant, I mean, the hotel was closed with no food. So man,
Wow.
all of us went across the street. We stayed in the Opryland too. So all of us went across the street to McDonald's, all the linemen. And man,
Yeah.
we had such a great time over there. We ate burgers and fries, man. We laughed. We had a great
Yeah.
time over there, man. We had a blast, even though it was just McDonald's. But we had a that was probably one of my best bowl memories, man. And then
Dang.
too, think about you ain't spending much money at McDonald's, so we
Oh
get to
yeah, man.
pocket some of that bowl money. But
I tell you, man, save some of that now.
yeah, man. So that's probably one of
My
my best
man.
memories. That's probably one of my best memories, dog. All of us all piled up in McDonald's eating all the linemen. That was so much fun, man. It was, simple times then, man.
That's what's
Yep,
up, man.
yep. You guys make sure you subscribe and like on our YouTube. We got Super Bowl winner, offensive guard Antoine McClain, former Clemson All ACC and honor roll All ACC. So you get into the draft and you go into the combine. You look pretty fast in the picture
Yeah, man. Look like you ran
that I
out
put in the
of
promo.
oh,
So talk about that a little bit.
Oh man, combine is like we growing up. I had just got cable again, and we had NFL Network, and I'm watching this NFL Network. I'm watching all the draft stuff. I'm gonna be there one day. Like I'm gonna go to the combine one day.
right.
I remember recording it every year and then taking it to school. We watching it in those classes that where we didn't have no work to do. We just watching it in our coach's class, and I remember like, man, I'm gonna go to the combine. Man, I go. It was a great experience, but like the combine, I don't know if the experience is intense, is long, is tiring some, and they beat you down like mentally. But the last day is the actual workout part of it. It was a great experience. I'm glad I went, but will I raise my hand and go again? No.
No.
Because
Yeah, man.
a lot of my friends that didn't get invited have a good pro day and get drafted. I wasn't drafted, so but
Okay.
the combine was a great experience, man. I enjoyed it. I cherished it. Great experience, a great milestone to go to. But like hindsight 2020, now I wouldn't be so gung ho about it. But it is what it is. But yeah, the draft. So draft day, I know you asked about draft. So draft day, I was projected like a fifth, sixth, or fourth through sixth round. Got a
Yeah.
few calls in the draft. Got a few calls in the draft. Nobody pulled the trigger. But Baltimore called me in the seventh round after they took their last pick, and they was like, we know we didn't draft you, but we want to take you because we think you're a great asset to this team. If you come in and work hard, you can make this team. So it was no brainer, no brainer.
Oh yeah.
And I watched them, and I watched Baltimore every year for 4 years get close and close. So I remember watching it my senior, like, bro, they're gonna go Super Bowl next year. And lo and behold, I'm kind of glad I didn't get drafted. Well, I'm not glad, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it folded. If I had a chance to go again, yeah, I want to get drafted.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
but no,
I know.
but
Yeah.
I think not getting drafted forced me to. I don't know. It just forced me to. I was. I don't know. It just forced me to like really evaluate, what's important, and then. But when I announced that I got picked by the Ravens as far as free agent, my family we still lit up, had a good time,
Yeah.
had a great time. I had some clarity, but I knew I was gonna win the Super Bowl, so I was like, well, I picked the right team. Well, the right team selected me, so. But now, man, I probably met one of the greatest coaches. I think one of my favorite coaches, Warren Castile. There, he hands-on guy, man. He's a great guy, man. And he teaches so simple. He slowed the
Mhm.
game down for me. But Baltimore was a good place. But yeah, if I had to do it, I would love to get drafted.
Yeah.
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 So
So
talk about playing with Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, a lot of Hall
yeah,
of Famers on that team.
Mhm.
man, Ed Reed,
Terrell Suggs,
yeah,
Flacco, your quarterback. Talk about, the locker room a little bit and the intensity. I know it was very intense in that locker room every week, every game, every practice.
Probably,
yeah,
probably one of my favorite teams I've been on, besides the Cardinals. But man, what a star-studded cast we had that year. We had,
Ray Rice,
Ray Rice, Ed
yeah,
Reed, Michael Orr, Matt Burke, Brian McKinney, um, Terrence Cody, Shockey Brown, Webby. Man, we had a Antoine
oh,
Bolden. We had Antoine Bolden, Torrey Smith. We
yeah,
had
that's
Monte Leach. We had Paul Kruger, who had like 12, 13 sacks that year. Pernell
Yep.
McPhee. We had Sis. Man, we was stacked, man. And speaking of Ray Lewis, I know everybody sees him as this very intense guy, but he is such an uncle, man. He's so cool. He's the OG. He's
yeah,
funny.
that's
He
what's
mean
up.
what he say. But when I tell you, I remember him coming in. Like he misses all the offseason stuff. He does his own thing.
Yeah,
When he comes, he has to come to mandatory minicamp because he's an OG. He's 17 years in.
yeah,
He
oh yeah,
ain't got
most definitely.
that no more, man.
Put the work in.
You gonna be in shape when you come. So
Yeah,
I remember our team meeting before minicamp. It was like a little team dinner. We eat, and then the team meeting was at 7. So coaches give us time to get. We have a 5-minute period, a little 5-minute grace period, and man, so everybody's in there sitting down in the team meeting room. Everybody and the coaches ain't walked in yet, and the door open and in walks in Sugar Ray Lewis. Man, I was like, "Yo, that's him!" Like, and he was like, it was weird. It was like because he wasn't like the big 260, 250 guy. He was like 230. But you still,
uh-huh.
when he walked in the room, you felt the energy shift like crazy. And
Wow,
I was like, yo, that's Ray Lewis. I was like, I'm what, 21? I'm like, yo, that's Ray Lewis. I'm freaking out. Like inside, not like, I'm cool, like, yeah, he look
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah,
Man,
yeah. You gotta stay cool, man.
yeah. So I remember the first play of that practice of the next day of the mini camp. I remember it was we called a screen. No, we called the draw. And how the NFL works, the second team guys and the P squad, well, the young guys, we service the first team group. So they was up first and we was up. Well, so we was giving them a look. Man, we called that play. So I'm getting in my stands and whatnot. I got to tap the left guard. We had crowd music. I had to tap the left guard to let them snap the center to snap the ball. So and I remember getting the play and I'll get to the ball and tap my man on the hip. Ray Lewis say, "Watch the draw. It's coming right here." And I look back at coach. He was like, "Run the play." I'm like, "He know the play, man." So I get down. He makes the play, and then coach is like, "Come here, come here, come here. What's up, coach? Hey, son, make sure you get set before the ball snap." I was like, he said, "I know it's Ray Lewis. He know all the damn plays." So I knew what time it was, man. So
Yeah,
so all those guys on that team, man, like they were all such great guys. Big like Ed Reed was my locker mate. He sat in front of me, so I was getting that game every day. And cool, Eddie Kane, cool. Then our
yeah,
offensive line group was Brian McKinney, 6'9", 13-year veteran. We had Bobby Williams. We had Colette, who came in with me, who was the highest paid offensive lineman for like 5 years. We had the
man.
center. We had Matt Burke at center. We had Marshall Yonder, quiet assassin. Then we had Michael Orr, big smooth out there, right tackle. So our room was pretty stacked. So I got a great game for those guys every day, and we had a crazy ass coach, but that room was pretty tight. So I was glad to make that team because man, it showed me so much about the league and how to be a pro. So those guys probably some of the best guys I've been around, man, because they were professional. They understood how to win. Coaches understood how to win. Like so, I was blessed, dog, and I was so blessed. I love that team, though. I love that year, man. And then with Super Bowl, we won Super Bowl. It was like it was expected, but it didn't really hit me until like after the parade, and I'm sitting on my beanbag. I had like a human-sized beanbag in my room, and I'm watching the news. Like, yo, we won the Super Bowl. Like, it didn't hit me till then. Even after we won the game, and the hotel was crazy. It's like every movie star, the Super Bowl party was nuts. Every rapper, every superstar was giving us like praises. I'm like, dude, I didn't even touch the field today. And Jay-Z's dapping me up, like, good job. I'm like, yo, Hope just told me good job. Like,
word. Beyonce performed that night. That's when y'all had the blackout at the halftime.
Grandma getting to see a Super Bowl and Beyonce, and then going to the party, the after party, and everybody's at that party, man. I'm like, all my favorite rappers, all my dad's favorite rappers, all my favorite old school rappers, like Frankie Beal and Maze is on stage killing it. Mary J. Blige is killing it on stage, and I'm going to the bar to get a drink, and Gucci Mane and Yo, I'm like, yo, this is nuts, dog. I'm like, wow. And it still hit me one Super Bowl. I was just like, yo, like all my favorite people is in one place, and they're giving me congratulations, like dapping me up. Like, I'm like, y'all know I'm a rookie. Seeing Kelly rolling, man. So, even going back to New Orleans, even going back to Baltimore. So the next morning, while we get on the bus to go to the airport, everybody didn't sleep because everybody was still out. Like, we almost missed the bus, we were still out. So I remember guys talking about, it ain't over, man. We're gonna play, we're gonna party again, man. When that plane took off, you could have heard a pin drop. Everybody was asleep.
So I got some highlights. From the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at it. You know, for you guys watching, make sure you follow and subscribe. We got Super Bowl champion Antoine McClain on from Clemson University. We're gonna go ahead and roll into that clip. All right.
Let's go beyond, son. That's what we came for, right? It's a big stage, but it's a small field. We're going to play in a football field, and all we need to do is what we do.
Joe Flacco and the offense picked up where they had left off in New England. Flacco threw 3 touchdown passes in the first half.
Pocket, throwing deep. He's got Jacoby Jones open at the 10. Jones makes the catch. He's not touched. Bounces up. Spins out of 1 tackle. Running the left hash mark. Lunges in. Touchdown, Ravens.
I had to step up big time. I threw it on the run, and I just kept running
Kaepernick wants to throw under pressure, and he's sacked back at the 40-yard line. Yes.
He had just gotten sacked, and the clock had stopped. And I'm like, why is the clock stopped?
With 13:28 left in the third quarter, and somehow a massive outage of power in New Orleans Superdome has put this game on hold.
That's a huge shift in any game, in all seriousness. And as you see how huge it was, because it let them right back in the game.
The 49ers scored 3 touchdowns in a little over 12 minutes.
This is what the Ravens feared coming out of that half-hour outage.
The Ravens' lead was 5. With less than 2 minutes to go, San Francisco had 4th and goal.
Incomplete! No flags on the play! Incomplete! Ray Lewis and the defense delivered and stopped the 49ers!
Unable to run out the clock, Baltimore took a safety, leaving one final play.
Just get him down. Just get him down. Get him down.
Guinness tackled! The Baltimore Ravens are Super Bowl champions!
happened to be walking across and it's my brother. It's not just another coach. So, you know, a little bit of empathy goes a long way, and it was pretty easy for me to put myself in his shoes in that moment, you know, for a moment.
Congratulations. I love you. Congratulations. Hey, you too. Good job. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Man,
Boy, that's a big moment, boy. Woo!
man, that brought chills, dog. Like,
Hey, I feel it now.
Yeah, I felt like I was there, bro.
Yeah, man.
You right here.
Hey, where the ring at, bro? Where the ring at?
That's
what I'm
locked
talking
up.
about, baby.
I can't wear that big old thing. I locked it up. I only wear it special occasions, but I get another one.
Gotta hold it
Okay.
with 2 hands.
I'll bring it out. Man, that was a dog. That's probably one of the best years of my life, dog. Like, I was a rookie, man.
I know it.
It's like my mother's here, my grandma's here, my family's here. It's like I'm meeting rappers, and I'm like, yo, like, bro.
What's up?
Yeah, man, that was a great experience. And I got some great coaching. That's when Coach Castile came on board, man. He started working with us younger guys, and then he helped take my game to another level. But that was a great year, a great thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Hey, so talk about the other teams you've been playing for, man, in the NFL. You played for a lot of teams, man. You put in a lot of work.
Right. So after I left Baltimore, I was on the 53-man roster with Oakland. Ended up getting traded mid-season to Buffalo, and I had family in Buffalo. So that was a great time, great experience. That lasted a year. Ended up going to New Orleans for like 6 games, get cut. Sat at home for like 3 weeks and got picked up the rest of the season with the Bears. And then I signed with Arizona. Right after that last game, I signed with Arizona from 14 and to 16. I was in AZ. BA is probably another one of my favorite coaches I played for. We almost won the Super Bowl. We got beat by the Panthers that year, but Arizona's a great place, dog. I grew a lot as a young man. I grew a lot as a person. I love Arizona, man, and you know I enjoyed my tenure there. But I think Baltimore and Arizona was probably my 2 favorite places I was at.
Yeah. So how's the weather out there though, man?
Arizona, man, I swim, went to the pool every day, but the wintertime is weird because it'll be like 35 in the morning, freezing, and by the time we get out of practice, everybody's snatching off that hoodie and them sweatpants because it's 90, and you got these leather seats in your car burning your back. So. But no, Arizona's beautiful, man. It's so much stuff to do for like your family, your homies, relation, you with your wife. It's I love it, and it's always the sun's always shining, man. I felt that's where I know they always talk about when Jesus went to the desert to fast and all that, man. It's a different era out there, man. It's a great place to raise a family, and I've always wanted to invest in some property out there one day. Not retire there, but like have something to where I could take my family to it. Yeah, man. I love Phoenix.
Cool, man. So you went to the Bills after you left Arizona. After you left Arizona, you went to Buffalo. Talk about Buffalo. I know that was complete opposite of being in the sun, going to New York in the cold. So talk about that a little bit.
I'm a big guy, so I love cold, but football was football. But my family made that experience so much because I had like family that I grew up seeing every summer, and actually being, you know how great it feels to have stars of your team coming to your auntie's living room and eat dinner, dog. That make their day. Or after the game, don't have to drive home. You can stay and tailgate with your family because that's what they did all their life and experience that. And all the characters of Buffalo are your friends because your cousin is cool with all of them and they work together. It's like you be on TV, but that made it. Then I had a lot of my guys from Clemson on the team, but it was a great experience, man. It lasted a year, but that year, man, that year and a half was great to me, dog. It was I know everybody think New York like the big city, but nah, man, it reminds me of Birmingham where I'm from, like the area where I'm from, the Anderson area, but it reminds me of a Birmingham, like which is like an hour from me, 45 minutes from me, but it reminds me of that. But it's a beautiful place, man. I love it. I know people be like, "Oh my God, but I wouldn't live there." No, Buffalo was a great experience for me, man. I was on a 53-man roster there too as well, so that was good. Didn't get to play a lot, but great experience, man. Great experience.
Cool. So right after football, you left Buffalo and you went into I think coaching or helping out with the NFL player development.
Oh, okay. So yeah, after I got cut from the Cardinals in 16, I ended up going to Canada for a little bit, for a little sip of coffee. Then I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. So right after that, I ended up working at a dealership for like 3 months. Ended up running into one of our alumni there who at the Cardinals game. So I moved back to Arizona after I finished playing, and I linked with him on an autograph signing one day, and he was asking me what I did. I said I'm at a dealership right now. I said, "Well, send me your resume. I might have something for you." So it was at GCU as a enrollment counselor. So I
Okay.
enrolled students, but I had to, make sure they basically what I was doing, student athlete development, making sure guys like women and men have their needs met as far as academics and make sure they're on top of their stuff. So mostly like a academic advisor. I did that
Yep.
for a year. Ended up had an opportunity to do the Legends Development Program at the National Football League office. So I ended up selected for that. It was only for 6 months, and I was in player development department. But the guys that I was working with, they went through the program the year before I did. They actually hired full staff, so I kind of like shout out those guys. Ended up doing a great job there, and they extended it to another 6 months, and then it almost was like a year and a half when COVID hit. That's when they kind of like cut ties with a lot of the student workers and interns and all that. So I ended up, well, for one, that was a great experience for me because I got a chance to kind of create my own program. I got a chance to travel and with to different teams in the NFL that some that I played for, talk to the rookies about the transition from college to the NFL, all the do's and don'ts, and just connect with those guys and make sure they was good, and then connecting with the player development guys and make sure they had what they need to service the guys. I did a lot of college outreach, and I ended up getting my job at UT because I went and spoke to their guys for a little bit. They liked what I had to say, like some of my stuff. So, and then I had a chance to work with my school on that aspect of development, and then so yeah, after I finished at the league office, I go to UT for 9 months as an intern, and then I get hired as the director of student athlete development at UNC Charlotte. And the day before I start, Coach Sweeney called me.
The guy that recruited
So here
full
I
circle.
am. Here I am, man.
Yeah.
And the thing about Coach Sweeney is this program that we went through, the football program, is developed for people like me when you're 30. Coach said, yeah, we're going to get you. We're going to love on you. You're going to be a great player, great student. You're going to have opportunities to do stuff in the world. But this program is designed for when you see each other when they see me at 30 years old, we're going to see the fruits of our labor because the young man you turn out to be. So I'm happy to be one of those guys that Sweeney always kept his hand on and always, make sure we always check up on us and whatnot. He's when he say you're gonna graduate, oh, he mean that. Whether you go to the league and he gonna call you every year. Hey, bro, you owe me a semester. Hey, and he makes sure guys get their paperwork. And that's dope. Some coaches won't do that. When you're done,
you got that right.
When you're done playing, you're done. He makes sure that guys, whether you're a millionaire, whether you getting that paperwork, man, that's great for guys because they don't understand what you can't do without that degree. And I feel like that's one thing I had to do in between playing in the off season. I always went and finished my schoolwork and make sure I got my degree. So, but at one point, man, I couldn't make no moves because a team I'm on their watch list. I can't get a job because I ain't got my degree. So I know school was always important, man. So I went back and finished my degree in 17 before I started my journey in life. So
Okay, cool. Congratulations, man.
get that.
Yeah. So, do you have anybody that you would like to shout out helping you along the way to this journey that you've been on with football and life and development?
First of all, my the Lord, man, God, for one, for just showing me, dog, like showing me that He always has His hand on me, always making the way, man, always. And then I did the work too, but He always blessed me for doing what I said I was gonna do. My parents for always making sure that we couldn't do stuff we wanted to do because it wasn't, but at the same time, making sure that they provide a foundation for me and my sister and my brother to build off of. I want to thank also all my high school coaches that played a big part in my life. My brother, my man, Coach Sweeney. I don't want to forget nobody, man. Coach Shiflett. So many people, dog.
Yeah.
Man, Rashad Hall, Jeff Davis.
Oh yeah.
Man, Miss Baxter, my counselor, who always made sure I had what I needed for coaches when they came to visit me. Man, I don't want to forget nobody, man. Coach Ewell, can't forget Coach Ewell. Coach Ewell was my right. Coach Ewell, Coach Bernard Ewell played at Mississippi State. He's from Jackson, Mississippi. Was a big recruit out of there. So he was the one that really helped me through the recruiting game and was my big homie and like father figure to me for football. Like he really poured into me. So like, yeah, he was the good guy for me. I could always talk to him, but when the time was like getting on my backside, he always. But then too, he always came real. He thought, "Hey, bro, granted, you a blue chipper. Everybody wants you, but I just want you to know when you get on that campus, man, none of that stuff matters no more. You got to really put the work in. So start doing it now, which I know you're gonna do. But like, I'm just letting you know. So." Like even like, I don't know, dog. It's so many people, man, that played a part in where I am right now too. And I want to thank myself at the end, man, because for doing the work, for sacrificing some stuff, man, and believing in myself, even when it's kind of hard to, is especially after football ended, man. We all go through that rough patch, but I want to just give myself some flowers because, man, I could be very hard on myself. So it's like, giving myself some grace, man. Like I am believing that whatever God was showing me was for the better, whether it was scary at that point or the moment when I dropped everything and moved to New York. And since I did that, man, my life has been nothing but up. So I just want to thank God for one, two, was just giving me that plan and that foresight to suck it up, man. Nobody's gonna come to save you but yourself. And God, it's true because nobody's going to help you until you help yourself. Because you think about people are, if I'm invested time, like, are you going to like really do this? So I'm just grateful for like all the things that God has showed me to make me a better person to where I am now, man. And then too, all the guys that I help now, like, so I'm just thankful for all that, man. I hope I ain't missed nobody who watching this. I'm sorry. You know who you are. I love all y'all. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Any messages for the youth? Any messages for the youth going to the next level?
Yeah, man.
Somebody want to follow your footsteps. Yeah,
man. I always say set your goals early, whether you are for sure about that or not, man. So you have somewhere to aim. And two, always believe in your first instinct. Take care of your body. Learn what that means when I say take care of your body. That's nutrition, your mental, and everything else. And always work your plan. Always put the work in, man, because at the end of the day, that work is gonna speak for itself. So and don't walk by faith, not by sight, because it's never gonna be how you think it's gonna be. And just stay encouraged, man, and keep working because It always gonna come out. Some always good to come out of what you want to do, and write what you want to do down and look at it daily.
On paper, baby. On paper. Yeah, you gotta be visual. You know what I'm saying?
Make the vision plain. And there's
right.
no shortcuts. There's no science to this. It's just writing your plan down and working. Even if that's not where God wants you to be, He gonna get you to where you want to be or where you think you should be at. You just gotta like have some oomph and direction, man.
Because it's His plan, so you got to just follow His plan anyway.
Right.
Well, we appreciate you coming on the show. You know what I mean? It was a great show. You're more than welcome to come back anytime, man. If you have a business or anything like that, you can also drop your links. Let the people know where they can follow you at on social media if they, want to get in contact with you or want to drop some or get some inspiration or whatnot.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm on LinkedIn, Antoine McClain. My Instagram is MacLife256. That MacLife stands for Motivated and Committed Life. It's short for my last name and my area code. So MacLife256, and my Facebook is at Antoine McClain. But yeah, on my Facebook, my Instagram, I'm really holistically healthy and think about all that stuff. So if you want some good game about nutrition and life and just mindset, man, just look at my stories. And what else? I'm on Twitter too at MacLife256. I'm not really on there, but that's still MacLife256. So yeah, man, those are all my handles.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you coming on to the shop, man, for real. Who you got in the Georgia Clemson game? What's the score on Saturday? I know who you got, but what's the score?
I don't know the score. I got us, but you got to realize, man, it's two dogs. It's two dogs in that fight. So, I would say whoever make the less mistakes and whoever outwill the other team, because we both stacked. But I feel like, and I know for sure we're gonna win that thing. But whoever capitalizes off whoever mistakes, whoever make the less mistakes, and whoever impose their will is gonna win that game.
That's right.
All right, cool.
Well, Tigers, baby.
Yeah, I hear you. Let's see.
Let's go, baby.
All right, you guys have just tuned in to another edition of Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. I got my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. Also, we like to thank today's special guest, former Clemson, third team All-ACC and Honor Roll ACC, which is important, guys.
Yes,
also, former Baltimore Ravens and Super Bowl champion, former Arizona Cardinal and Buffalo Bill offensive guard, Antoine McClain. Make sure you guys subscribe.
And currently the director of football alumni engagement at Clemson University.
That's right.
Yes. Antoine McClain.
Yes,
right.
Sir.
You guys make sure you subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and Deezer. And until then, we'll see you next time. You guys be safe out there, wear your mask. And it's not how you start, it's how you what, KJ?
It's how you finish, man. So keep going.
All right. All right. You guys stay tuned. We'll see you next episode. You have a good Labor Day weekend. Be safe. Peace.
Peace.